How many know what she's reading? It'll ring a bell in your soul.
Yes, it will.
All is well. We're going to ask now that Deaconess Cynthia would come and she would read for us. Allah.
Celebrating the life and love of Ella Emerson. Life story. Ella Emerson, daughter of the late Samuel and Minnie McCullough of Ware Shoals, South Carolina, passed away peacefully in her sleep on April 26, 2017, in the home of her beloved daughter, Deborah Williams. Ella Emerson was a longtime resident of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Ella was part of the historical African-American migration from the southern United States to northern United States cities in the 1940s. Upon arriving in Philadelphia, she took a job at the Campbell Soup Company in Camden, New Jersey, where she met and married James Emerson and went on to raise 6 children. Ella was a longtime member of the Christ-like Faith Baptist Church, later to become the Christ-like Pleasant Green Faith Baptist Church. Over the years, she enthusiastically participated with the missionary circle, helping to uplift the spiritual needs of the sick and shut-in. Ella was also a Sunday school teacher and often spoke of how much she loved to teach her students. She was a proud tenor of the Sanctuary Choir and was honored as a woman of distinction for her lifetime of service to the church. Ella was widely known for her wit, charm, and sense of humor. She truly enjoyed a good laugh. She also showed great fortitude as she attended classes at the Opportunity Industrialization Center to receive her high school equivalency certificate at an advanced age. She was recognized as a prolific gardener and won awards for her city garden plots and her prize-winning vegetables. Ella Emerson is predeceased by her husband James Emerson and daughter Sandra Emerson Trailer. She also predeceased by 7 brothers, Elsie, Stewart, Arthur, Robert L., Lee H., Ralph, and James McCullough. In addition, she is predeceased by 7 sisters, Margaret Hodges, Letitia McCullough, Nettie A. Hughes, Louise Flippin, Janelle Stewart, Susie Redmond, and Gladys McCullough. Ella is mourned by her loving family. She leaves behind her children, Belinda Emerson, Atlanta, Georgia, James Emerson, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Vanessa Emerson, Atlanta, Georgia, Charlene Duncan, San Antonio, Texas, and Deborah Williams, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and son-in-law Herbert Trailer, along with 12 grandchildren and 10 great-grandchildren. She is also mourned by her sister, Agnes McDowell of Ware Shoals, South Carolina, brother-in-law Bernard Stewart of Willingboro, New Jersey, and sister-in-law Jenny McCullough of Detroit, Michigan, along with a host of nieces and nephews. Other mourners include her spiritual children, Carolyn Cone, Aaron McReynolds, and Keith Hairston, and a goddaughter, Elizabeth Park, and her church family, neighbors, and friends. At Grandma's house, where we would gather for the summer, play with our friends in the neighborhood, and sit on their steps as you turned on the porch light to spy and make sure we behaved. At Grandma's house, where you made fish and grits every Friday, and if we asked pancakes from scratch, it didn't matter if it was 10 o'clock in the morning or night. At Grandma's house, where you turned everything into a song, singing, "I'm coming up on the rough side of the mountain," every time you climbed the stairs. At Grandma's house, where you told us about the birds and the bees, flowers and the trees, whether we wanted to hear about it or not. At Grandma's house, where you would make dinner every Sunday for the church family until your statement, "Done or raw, do the chart," came true, and that's when we knew it was time for someone else to do the cooking. At Grandma's house, where you would decorate the Christmas tree with whatever you could find around the house. When we couldn't find dolls that looked like us in the stores, you painted them black. At Grandma's house, where a lot of us learned how to cook, and if we stepped out of line, you didn't speak. You just slid your foot out of your slipper, and we knew to go and sit down. You were an advisor, protector, counselor, seamstress, coach, cheerleader, choir director, handywoman, referee, teacher, and chef, but most of all, our grandma, our superwoman. You blessed us and showered us with everlasting love. We thank you and will always cherish the precious memories that we have. You've done a lot and lived a full life in your 96 years, old lady. You've earned your rest. Rest in heaven, Grandma. We know that you will always be there, just a different address now. A mother's crown. Heaven lit up with a mighty present as the angels all looked down. Today the Lord was placing the jewels into our mother's crown. He held up a golden crown as our darling mother looked on. He said in his gentle voice, I will now explain each one. The first gem, he said, is a ruby, and it's for endurance alone. For all the nights you waited up for your children to come home. For all the nights by their bedside, you stayed till the fever went down. For nursing every little wound, I add this ruby to your crown. An emerald, I'll place by the ruby, for leading your children in the right way, for teaching them the lessons that made them who they are today, for always being right there through all life's important events. I give you a sapphire stone. Got the time and love you spent, for untying the strings that held them when they grew up and left home. I give you this one for courage. Then the Lord added a garnet stone. I'll place a stone of amethyst, he said, for all the times you spend on your knees when you ask if I take care of your children, and then for having faith in me. I have a pearl for every little sacrifice that you made without them knowing, for all the things you went without to keep them happy, healthy, and growing. And last of all, I have a diamond, the greatest one of all, for sharing unconditional love, whether they were big or small. It was your love that helped them grow feeling safe and happy and proud. A love so strong and pure, it could shift the darkest cloud. After the Lord placed the last jewel in, he said, your crown is now complete. You've earned your place in heaven with your children